My name is Wendy Hoffman. I am the Resource Facilitation Manager for the Minnesota Brain Injury Alliance and the Minnesota Stroke Association. Resource Facilitation is a 2-year free phone-based support program available to anyone in Minnesota who's had a stroke or a brain injury. The Resource Facilitation program started about 20 years ago as a hospital pilot discharge program, and then it was fully funded in 2003, and we serve the whole state of Minnesota. The goal of Resource Facilitation is to provide resources, information, educational materials to people after they've returned home or back to the community after they've had a brain injury or a stroke and have the best life that they can as they're recovering from their injury. During a call with a resource facilitator, some of the supports that are offered are being able to be connected with resources in your community, educational resources, and sometimes just a listening ear and someone nice to talk to. And the Minnesota Brain Injury Alliance, the Minnesota Stroke Association are sister organizations served by the same staff, but the Resource Facilitation program is funded through the Minnesota Brain Injury Alliance. So same people, they also know about stroke, and they will help with those types of resources as well. If someone's interested in participating in the Resource Facilitation program, there are several ways to be part of the program. One is oftentimes people are referred through a professional at the hospital, a social worker or a nurse or someone like that. Another way to apply for the program would be to go to our website, www.braininjurymn.org, and follow the link for Resource Facilitation and fill out the information, and that will get calls scheduled with you with a resource facilitator for your area. The really great thing about Resource Facilitation is that the calls are scheduled. So you don't have to remember to call us when you're dealing with all the stuff that you're having to deal with after you get home after an injury. So we'll call you and check in. The resource facilitators serve the whole state. They have specialized areas, so they might know about resources that you didn't even know were out there, and they'll help you get connected to those. They can give you information about some things that you might be dealing with, some symptoms, memory issues, or things like that we can give you some educational materials about. The Minnesota Brain Injury Alliance has some classes that you can attend, brain injury basics, there's stroke basic classes that you can attend. We also have a conference twice a year for people to attend. And most importantly, there's a nice person who's going to give you a call and check in and see how you're doing. When we say that Resource Facilitation is a free program, we really do mean that it's a free program. If you're wondering how we keep the Resource Facilitation program free, it's because we are funded through a grant through the Minnesota Department of Health. If you're wondering, how the heck did I get this phone call? It's because someone from the hospital, a social worker or discharge planner who cared about how you're doing after you leave the hospital, has referred you, and they should have talked to you about it, but sometimes it's hard to remember that in the midst of all the craziness that's going on when you're trying to get settled into life again at home. The other nice thing about Resource Facilitation is that it's a voluntary program. So if you feel like you don't need the services right now, you can ask to discontinue the program, but then maybe 6 months from now, you feel like, gee, I wonder what those people would say about this. You are welcome to call us anytime. We know that you want to get back to life, and we want to make that as easy as possible. If you do have any questions, you are always welcome to give us a call at 612-378-2742, or visit our website at www.braininjurymn.org or strokemn.org.